Now we will talk about the category show view, and this is the HTML version of it. I'm so excited to do this because we are diving deeper into our recipes. So the first thing I will do is I will open this single category HTML file, and as usual I will go to my main so I can copy the content of the main and I can have it here inside my PHP. So I will just get back to routes web, and then I will define one new route, which is a get request on categories / category as a variable. And if I write today, okay, and inside this I will have one new action or one new function called show. Here I'm gonna name it from now as show. So let's just go ahead and define this. So we will have a new function called show, and this one, since we have inside our route a parameter or a variable, I can just define it here. So I can just write here category, which is the same name which I wrote there. So as the start, I would like to just go ahead and dump it so we can see it in the browser. So in our routes, and here specifically, we can just have something like the category with the ID of 1. So you can notice now everything you pass, you are simply dumping it. If you wish, Laravel has something called route to model binding. So if you to just write here the model name, Laravel will know simply that you are searching for a specific category. It will go to the database, it will simply query it, and it will give it back to you. So right now, if you to just refresh, then it will give you an object of a category model, and here you have all the details related to this specific category, which is something astonishing. So what we can do right now is we can simply proceed to create a new view, which is return view, and now we are going to have categories, and I would like to have it actually as a folder, and inside that I would like to have show. So let's just do show, and here we will have index. I will create one of those, so we can simply do and create the other one maybe as well. So I can just simply paste what I had here in the HTML. I'm going to add the layout for it in a second, but just before doing so, let me just move the content of the category that we have right now inside here, and I'm going to delete this one. And now the index is back to normal. For our show, as usual, we are going to extend our layout, which is website, and I would like to have two sections. So the first one is going to be the title, which is only the category name, since we have it as a variable, or I will pass it in a second. I would like to display the category title as the title. And for this section, which is the second one, it's going to be the content, and here we have the content. So let me just place this at the end of the file. Now the show itself as an HTML, it should be word, it should be working just fine. Let me just get back to my controller, and here I would like to pass this variable so we can use it in the view. So I will just go ahead and pass it inside compact. So this is compact. Now let's get back and refresh. The first thing that you will notice here that all of our styles, everything went away. And this is super normal because by default, it's trying to search for all the images and everything inside the public folder. However, right now to it, unfortunately, they are searching for where you are right now, which is /categories. Fixing this, fortunately, is super easy. You just have to get back to your main layout, and you have to make sure that you are prefixing everything with just a /. So let me do the same for those two files so you can at least have the styles working just fine. And let me refresh. Okay, styling is on its place. So we are almost good to go. We just have to fix the images right now. And fixing the images is going to be exactly using the same way. So I will get back to my show view, and everywhere where I'm using an image, I will just go ahead and replace it with a / then an image. So this should work just fine. And it does. And now, which means we can just simply go ahead and display dynamic data. So I will display first of all the category name. So let me just go where it is right now, which is this one. And as easy as writing category, arrow, title. And now we have the category name running. Now I would like to dive into how we can create for each, so we can loop through all the recipes of this category. And doing this is super easy. I'm just going to take one example. I'm going to delete the others, and I'm going to have here for else if you wish, since we might not have any recipes inside this category. Now we'll go ahead and just write category, and then we can go ahead and loop through the recipes inside this as a recipe. However, I would like to give you one more way to do it. So you can reach it out via the relation, right, like this, or actually I can just pass a variable called recipes from that controller, so I can simply have it here. Let's just have here the node data as a component, and I would like to just handle the paginations as well. So let me just go ahead and say recipes links. So right now I'm going to paste that example. For now it's not dynamic, I know, but we will just take care about this variable recipes, and then I will get back here to continue our work. So inside the controller, I will just declare a new variable called recipes, and here I will just use the recipe model, so I can just go ahead and search for the specific category. So for the category ID, it's going to be this category ID. The most primitive way to do it is just paginate, right? With no search, with nothing. So I'm going to just paginate maybe 4 recipes within each category. And here we can just simply have it as a variable. So right now we are going to display those 10. At the same time, we know for a fact that we have a search bar. So let me implement it since we did it in the last video. So I'm pretty sure it's super easy for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and declare a new variable called Q, and I will take from the request simply get or input regardless. Let me define that in a second, and I will take the Q from the query string. So let me just define it, request HTTP request as a variable called request. With this dependency injection, I'm good to go. I can use it. So now you know about the when function. I'm going to use it here right now. So when our request has Q as param and the Q itself does exist with the truthy value. Now I can simply go ahead and just type hint the query, and if you wish you can give it again the type, which is going to be builder, and remember please eloquent builder. Now we can just use it as where, and the title is like, because right now I'm searching inside the recipes, just in case that, remember to use it please, just in case if you would like to search for multiple values or multiple columns, you can super easily do so. If you would like to search for the title like this searching term, or where maybe the notes, maybe the excerpt, maybe the description of the recipe, you can search in any predefined column that you have inside your recipes. So now I guess we implemented almost everything except that we would like to make this one dynamic. So I'm going to go ahead and implement as an example the recipe itself is going to have is featured. As you remember, we did this one as a mutator, and now I can simply just extract this into its own component, so we can simply have PHP Storm generating the variable recipe for us. I will just name it recipe card, and I would like to pass recipe as recipe. So as you can see, this is like very simplistic. So now I will just go ahead and make everything I wish about this dynamic. So first of all, I would like to begin by type hinting this one, so modules and recipe. So this is the first variable that we have, or the first prop that we have. After that, I'm going to just have this one like this, because we don't have links for now. For the image, as usual, let me just go ahead and make it random for now, so we can implement the images later on in the course. And the featured flag or the featured patch is there. I did it out there, so nothing to do here. However, we have those flags, which I'm going to do in a second. But for now, I would like to display at least the title of the recipe. So recipe title, again, no link for now because we don't have recipe show. And this one is going to be the excerpt. So recipe excerpt. Let me delete this comment. And now with this done, our view should work just fine, at least when it comes to the pagination or to the recipe's title. So this is the category title, those are the recipes, and as you saw, we did it in like a matter of 1 minute. So everything should work just fine. Regarding the pagination, we are not seeing one, only because right now there are not enough recipes inside this category. And I just noticed that the logo went away and the footer went away. So let me just super quickly fix this with the same way we did with our images. So I will go to this partial view, and whenever we have image slash, I'm going to just replace it with a forward slash and then image. So for the footer, we should be good to go. Let's fix the header, image slash, and we have only one. So let me just fix it. And now let's get back and refresh. Everything is working just fine like it was before. So let's just go ahead and display perhaps a different category. So maybe you would like to visit the second category, and the second category has pagination. It doesn't have. So just for us to see the pagination is working just fine, I'm going to tweak the amount per page. I'm going to make it like 4 only, so we can just see it, and then I will retrieve it back to 10. So right now we have the pagination, and it seems like it's working just fine. Let's right now test having search with pagination. So I'm going to search for this one, rerum, and we have it as a query string. And at the same time, since we have it down there, everything is working fine. I can navigate to the second page and to the third page. I'm sorry, no, I can't. Okay, I just noticed. Okay, then let's fix this one, and most likely remember it, right? It's super easy. It's just one function, which is with query string, and that's it. Let me just get back and check that everything's working fine. Rerum, I'm searching for this as a query. Okay, we have to fix this one as well. So let me get back to my view. I just noticed that inside search form, I have to rename this one as Q. So now we can test it. Okay, let's search, rerum. Now, okay, what? Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't even notice that I wrote this one. Let me fix it in the control because we don't have such a function. Okay, or where? my bad. I will get back and refresh. Okay, so we can search and we can test. Rerun. And now we have the pagination. As you see down in the corner, everything is working just fine. I can navigate to the third page and I still persist the value of the search query. As usual, the last step to do is to persist it here as well. So let me just get back to my search and I will just have for the input a value of the request itself, out of it the queue as a variable. So now we can just have it here. So the clear search is what left, I guess. So let's just implement it super quickly. I'm not going to take much of your time, guys. I'm just going to just copy it from here since it's there anyways. And I'm going to paste it here. At the same time, I'm just going to fix this thing. So the URL right now is this one. I can make it to go to show, and to show you how can I pass variables, you can simply just give it as a second array like this, as simple as this. So you can pass the whole variable. You can pass only the ID. You can, if you wish, give it specifically, I would like the category to be category. You can do all sorts of things with Laravel. So in my case, I'm just going to pass it as a second parameter, even without having an array, and it will work out of the box. Let's just test it right now. I will refresh and I will just clear the search results, and it's working like a charm. So everything is done with this one. We just have to go ahead and do the flags right now. When it comes to those flags, we can easily have a helper array, so we can just simply loop through all of those. So the pieces of information that we need is simply the icon of it, the name of it, and the color. At the same time, the flag itself from the database, which means I can easily just go to my recipe and create this helper array. So here I'm going to create a new constant array called flags. So let me just make it as public const flags, and since it's constant, you can have it as uppercase. Now this is a normal array, nothing fancy with it. So I would like to retrieve from migration file all the flags which are Boolean flags, so I can have them here inside one array. Now for each item, as I told you earlier, we would like to have the title of it written in a way where it's readable for the end user. We would like to have the class, the CSS class of it, which indicates the color, and at the same time the font awesome icon. So I will do those very quickly by just simply passing an array for each item. So we can have the title, which is something in this case like low carb, and then we are going to have the CSS class for it. So let's say, for example, text background sexes, and then we're going to have the font awesome icon. So this one is going to be, for example, font awesome fire. I will go ahead and do the same thing for the other flag, so you don't have to wait much for this one. Okay, since now it's done, I can super easily just grab this constant and use it everywhere I wish. You can use it immediately in the view, but in my case, I would like to use it in my controller. So let's head back to my controller. So here I'm going to define a new variable called flags, and I'm going to give it the value of, from the recipe, the flags that we have right now as an array. So we can pass it easily to my view. Now inside the view, I can super easily, just inside the card specifically, I can just loop through all the flags and I can display them here one by one. So as usual, I'm going to just grab this one as an example. I'm going to delete the others and I'm going to loop through each one of them. So let's just go by flags as a flag, and then I will paste this example. So as you know, we have like 3 pieces of information right now. So what we care about is, for example, this one, which is going to be the flag, and then as an array, I know I named it CSS class. I will copy this one so we can have it here as the title, and then here, which is the icon. So with this being done, I just would like to double check sending this flag as a prop. So I'm going to do it here like this. So now I just have to double check that if this recipe has this flag enabled or not, which is super easy. I just would like to go with the if statement, and I can simply just check if the recipe that we have has, right now this is variable, so I'm going to wrap it like this, has, and we need to take it out as an index. So I'm going to give it here the column name, and then this one is going to be the index. If you are confused, I'm going to just dump in a second so I can show it to you guys. But let me just use it here anyways. Column name, and since it's one variable, I can just ditch this one and can use it immediately like this. I know it looks weird, but this is like kind of the dynamic things that I love. So let's just go to our browser and we can just see one example. So we didn't pass it as a prop. Let me just pass it as a prop, and here we can just have it as flags, which is flags, as easy as is. Now I have here this one as an example. So as you can see, here we have the column name, which is dynamic, and then those are the details related with this key from the array. So I can just easily use it. So if you to see this one, this is going to check if this one is true or false, and based on that, it will simply display the badge or not. So let's just get back. Okay, I made a mistake. I wrote recipes here, which is okay. very easy, you can fix it. We don't have recipes here, we have only recipe. So as easy as it is, we can just simply get back and refresh. So as you can see right now, each recipe has different flags based on what it has in the database. So I know we went like in a long way to this, but frankly, I would like to have my view really simple and concise. So that's why I like to do such kind of things. And this actually marks like the end of this view. So I'm really excited to simply go ahead and work on the single recipe show. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. See you in a bit.